Welcome back to another Traders Cast episode. Today I'm here with Mr. Isaac and Mr. MVP Lewis. Question: why did you guys choose the names of Isaac Banks? Everyone in the industry has bank, all right, but everyone in the industry is bankrupt. And why did you choose the name MVP?
MDP.
MDP. My bad then.
No, you're good.
It has its own definition. So MDP, what does that mean?
$1 million plan.
$1 million plan.
Yes.
And
banks. Banks represents a lot of different factors. I believe it represents, me being wealthy, me being able to go out freely and do whatever I feel like doing, me being able to, wake up at any day I feel like it because there's wealth to my name because I'm Isaac Banks, and just living the life I want to live on my own terms and living my best life with the close people I have around me and just enjoying it and taking, life one day at a time. And, banks should represent a lot of different things, but it's all positive factors, and that's what matters.
Fuck you, Chris. I can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do that, Chris. Now we got to restart that episode. All right. Well, essentially we have...
It's the bank show, can I say?
The Liberty System here for freedom and justice for all.
We print money on life.
And $1 million plan.
And I'll explain to you why I chose $1 million plan, right? So it was one day where I was just in my room, right? And I was thinking to myself, I'm a trader, right? I need a community and I need a name, right? So and then I don't know why I was just scrolling through Instagram and I see an MDP car, which is a Miami-Dade police car, right? And I see MDP. And I'm like, why did I just see this, right? And I'm thinking about MDP in my head. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what can that abbreviate to? And I figured out $1 million plan. And I was like, okay, this is going to be something I roll with. Went on the Sunbiz search to see if any LLC had a $1 million plan. Saw that it was worth it. And I was like, let's go with it.
So since we're talking about plans, one of the first questions that I wrote down here for you guys is, what are some key trading strategies in your plan? And how do you determine how to use those strategies with current market conditions?
So essentially the way that I trade is just basically support and resistance, right? I mark up a high and a low, and whichever one gets swept, I'm going for the breakout. So I'm going for the breakout below support or the breakout above resistance. Typically on any market conditions, you could be able to find that. And I trade mostly on the 4-hour, the daily, and the weekly time frame. I'm checking out the weekly, but majority of the time I execute on the 4-hour time frame.
So typically with that, how long are you holding the trade? On a good day and on a bad day, for example?
On a good day, I'm holding for 4 hours. I'm holding for one 4-hour candle. Or if not, I'm holding it throughout like 8 to 12 hours.
Gotcha. So in the 4-hour time frame, you're holding one candle.
Yes.
You're trying to see where that candle goes to with the length of it.
Yes.
Gotcha. And what about you?
Same thing I can relate to Lou with the support and resistance, supply and demand.
What have you been doing lately with gold? Because you've been on a really good, really good winning streak.
So
almost 4 weeks now.
Yeah, I know. With gold, actually 2 months, bro. It's been like 2 months, maybe 3. But with gold, I've been really just trading it by fair value gaps and balances, support and resistance, supply and demand, and just keeping it simple. Just waiting for a simple breakout to happen in the market. Waiting for a fair value gap to happen on the 5-minute or 15-minute time frame, and just executing, patiently waiting for price to hit my key level zones, which are order blocks, breaks of structures, imbalance zones, fair value gap zones, as I said, and then just executing and then just letting it play out. Simply it.
Gotcha. So it's completely different than what he does, because you are talking about 15 5-minute charts.
Yes.
I'm sorry, not charts, time frames. You said execute.
Yeah, when I execute my trades, the 5-minute, 15-minute time frames when I execute.
Okay, you execute on those time frames, but you're executing on the 4-hour time frame.
Yeah, and sometimes on the 1 hour. It really just depends, but mostly on 4 hour.
Okay, so what's your opinion on people who are scalpers, since you're more of a swing trader, and what's your opinion on swing traders, since you're more of a scalper?
I could go first.
Yeah.
I started off in options. That's where I come from. So I come from options trading, and I come from majority of the time a 1-minute or 5-minute time frame, because you have to trade on supply and demand usually on those time frames. My opinion on scalpers, there's nothing wrong with it. Me, typically in Forex, there's no contracts in it. You get me? There's no contracts on a Forex pair or anything like that. So
it's a CFD.
Yeah, exactly. So on options, you have contracts. So you're not going to hold a position for more than like 2 days, because now your contract's going to get hit with Greeks.
Yeah.
So I said essentially in Forex, I'm gonna swing more because it's typically it's just basic market structure.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe that swing is kind of good right now.
Yeah.
For me, because we're trading Forex, but scalping's good as well.
And now, real quick, since you're a swing trader, how do you preferably deal with swap fees?
Well, swap fees, it just depends on the pair.
And do you understand how to actually use the swap to your benefit?
No, I do not know how to do that.
So with a market watch, HeroFX is actually going to offer this. HeroFX on its website or in the back office is actually going to be offering something called Market Watch. Market Watch will show you that if you enter a trade with one lot, you're going to pay $50 in swap fees if the trade goes after 5 p.m. But if you enter this specific trade, like this other pair, in a buy, right, you're actually going to make $50 on the swap fee. Because you can make money and lose money in the swap fees. It's just knowing when to trade and how to trade it.
Yeah.
You get me? And the way that works is through market volume. Basically, if one currency is not being exchanged enough in the global banking system, right, what are those bankers, those high people that control the industry want you to do?
Trade that pair.
They want you to trade that pair. And how would they convince you of doing so? By not charging a swap and actually paying you to hold the trade. Because let's say you go into a buy and you're $50 negative in the trade. And then the trade after 5 p.m., right? After 5 p.m., since the market basically, at 5 p.m., basically the market just reestablishes itself. After 5 p.m., you're going to get paid for holding that trade.
Yeah.
And even though you're $50 negative, because let's say you're 20 pips down, your account basically goes to break even. Now, you go from 20 pips to 10 pips, then you're $25 positive.
Yeah.
But that's how essentially it works with swaps. And that's why I asked you essentially, do you trade with swaps and do you not trade with swaps, and do you understand them? Because if you're holding trades, it's really important to understand which pair you're trading and how it could affect the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So realistically, with swaps, I barely deal with them because I'm entering during pre-London. So I'm holding during pre-London, and I'll probably exit during New York, or if not, I enter in Asia.
Yeah, so you'll never deal with it.
Yeah, so I'm usually holding on between that. But Isaac, what you think, bro?
My opinion on swing traders, I don't see anything wrong with it because I used to swing trade here and there. I do it here and there till this day, even though, today I scalp a lot mostly. I think swing trading is very beneficial for finding big breakout moves in the market, 110%. Going over what Lou just said, him executing from the forward and daily. It's good to have those zones marked up because, you get to see a big breakout in the market. And I feel like, when you want to make your trading, as simple as possible, you're over here just trying to catch, 1-1, 1-2, what every trader should do to make their 1 to 2% a day. Swing trading is beneficial when it comes to marking up those zones and executing those zones. But, it depends on you. It depends if you're the type of trader that wants to catch a move quickly or if you want to catch a move for like a 1 to 10, I think it's ridiculous to catch a 1 to 10, but if you're keeping it between a 1-1 to a 1 to 2 every single day, you should be in good shoes with your account. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with swing trading. Swing trading is actually good.
What is your opinion on it?
On scalpers and swing traders?
Yes.
Well, my opinion on it is that if scalping works for you, why should you change it to be a swing trader? And if swing trading works for you, why should you change it to be a scalper? It's like running a race. Whether you get there first or you get there last, you're still crossing the line. You get me? Now, if you get there first, is there more benefit to it? Absolutely. If you get there last, it doesn't really matter. You get me? Yes, you're a loser because you lost the race. But the point is that you're getting across the line. You're getting to your destination.
Yeah.
And most people have to stop trying to copy what we do. And here's what I mean by that. I'm not a swing trader. I'm a day trader. I'm holding trades for a couple hours in the day, right? Mm-hmm. Just because I say that I'm a day trader does not mean that you should become one because I am one.
Yeah.
What it means is that this is what works for me. What you have to do is figure out as a person what works for you. And the easiest way to understand who you are as a trader is the psychology that you possess. If you're a person that's like me, that's always touching things and has ADHD and has very little patience,
Patience is key.
Yeah.
you're better off being a scalper. You get me? If you're a person who has lots of patience, stands still, sits, minds his own business, you're a better off swing trader. The reason I say that is because scalpers do one thing that make them elite or break them, and that one thing is called trade management. Mm-hmm. A scalper will manage the trade every single millisecond, meaning looking at it, trying to see if they could change something on it, trying to see if the trade's going the direction. So many things. You get me?
100%.
To some people, it's beneficial because they know what they're doing. They know what they're trading, they know what they're managing the trade for. For some other people, it serves the complete opposite. It makes them hesitate. Oh, did I even enter correctly? Oh, shit, I'm in drawdown 5 pips.
Yeah.
Should I close? It makes them question themselves, right? And that's where trade management with a swing trader is very different.
Yeah.
As a swing trader, you enter the trade, you leave it there for hours, and then you come back and you look at it, and the trade management that you do at that point is very minimal compared to a scalper who's looking at everything. A swing trader's trade management perspective is mostly with risk. It's like, hey, the trade is 20 pips below entry, and it has not hit a support, it has not hit a resistance, it's just 20 pips below.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm going to let it continue running. I'll check on it when I get an alert because I'm a swing trader.
Yeah, exactly.
A scalper, no, you're there watching it. So with me saying that, you have to understand, what do you prefer being, right? Do you prefer being a trade management company that basically manages the trade 24/7 as a scalper, or do you prefer being a more chill trader? Now, let's say that you, across the camera, says, I prefer being a swing trader. Okay, then don't touch the trade.
Exactly.
You get me?
You just got to have a stop loss.
Yeah.
And me, personally, bro, I do not have to take profit. Set. I do take profit when I see it's entering a certain level, and that's when I'll take profit. But some swing traders will leave a take profit and they'll hit it overnight. But me, personally, I believe that it's like trade management. If I'm going to come around in New York, I want to see where it's at in New York, right? I'm not going to leave it, hit take profit, and then I come back in New York, and it's still running 100-plus pips.
Yeah.
You get me? So that's why I like leaving no TP. That's what I believe.
So I'll start off with you with this question. Since we're talking about take profits, it aligns with risk management. So how do you manage risk across different trades and market conditions?
Honestly, it's just having a set trading plan to follow, and I believe that begins with the rules of your trading plan. Like, let's say if you're trading on a 100K, profit from account, and, your trading plan says on this account specifically, we're going to make 1% every single day for 5 days during the week. Now, I'm not saying we're going to make 5% every day because, we got to be realistic. We're not going to win every day. We're not supposed to win, but we do our best to win every single day. With that being said, so I'll do the math like this. Let's say from Monday to Friday, my objective on this 100K is to aim for a 1 to 2 every single position, correct? Yeah. So every time I aim for this 1 to 2, when I hit the 40 pips or 40 points, that would consider it to be 2% that I just made on that one trade, right?
So every 20 points is 1%.
Correct, yes. So with that being said, let's say I hit Monday, made 2% Monday. I hit Tuesday, now we're at 4%. Wednesday I lost. We lost 1% because stop loss is 20 pips. Because of course, you have proper risk management. So now I'm down. I lost 1% on Wednesday. Now I'm still up 3% for the week. Now going into Thursday, I hit another 1 to 2. Now we're at 5% for the week. And then going into Friday, let's say I lose. Now I lose 1%. And overall, I'm still up 4% for the week. So it's like overall, as long as you follow your plan and you stay disciplined, you can't go wrong. It's just you betting on yourself and you having the right confirmations when you execute your trades. Some traders can hold trades for 20 pips, some traders can hold trades for 40 pips, and I believe that's really all you need to become successful in trading, overall. As long as you believe in your plan and you believe that you're a good trader, and you put in the work every day, and you back test, and you put that chart time in, and you study your concepts, I don't see where you could go wrong. So I believe, having that trading plan set every single day for your risk management needs to be there. Because if it's not there, then, what are the odds of you winning every single week and, trying to maintain your account every week. Especially if you trade on a prop firm account, you should only be aiming for 10% a month. Make 2% 2 weeks in a row, that's 4. And then, you can make 3% on the following week. That would be what? That would be 7. And then literally what? Make 3% the last week, that's 10%,
Yeah.
So it's that simple.
So one of the things you kept repeating, and this is actually something that you should film into a reel here, is you kept saying believe in yourself, believe in your strategy, believe in this, believe in that. I will advise people that with all the belief you have, belief is hope.
Yeah.
And my mentor told me hope is not a strategy. Mm-hmm. Because when you keep hoping for something, you're not moving the needle forward to it. You just keep hoping. You get me?
Yeah.
So when you talk about, let's say, God, for example, faith is extremely big.
Yes.
You get me? You could have all the faith in the world that you are going to become successful. But unless you move the needle forward, as in putting in the work, putting in the labor, you're never going to become successful, even though you have a bunch of faith behind you.
Absolutely.
Faith.
I agree.
So believing in yourself in trading is not going to make you successful.
No, I mean,
you get me?
Yeah,
believing
100%.
in your plan, because it's like you could believe all you want in something. You could believe in Democrats. You could believe in Republicans. You could believe that the political system is doing good to us. Your belief is kind of worthless without a strategy in place.
Absolutely. It needs to be there. Yeah.
That's where I want to ask you, and then I'll go on to Lewis, is talk about a trade or describe a trade that you've taken that went well.
Okay.
And describe what you did after that trade.
Like after the routine?
After the trade, after you won.
Let's say, for instance, if I'm correct, this past Monday, I called out a signal there on the communities, on the telegrams, and we smashed like a 1-4. But me personally, I only held the trade for 1-2. I made about maybe like 1,000, like 700 on that trade. And after I closed out the trade, I was just happy to be up, 1.7% on the account. And, from that point on, the next thing was, I review it quickly, see why it went well, take down notes, because I like to keep myself accountable for all of my trades that I take in the market 24/7. And then basically close my laptop and then get ready and just go hit the gym and keep myself productive, keep myself going.
Gotcha. So I'm going to ask you the same thing. How do you manage risk across different trades and market conditions?
So essentially, whenever I go into a trade, I'm risking 1%. Always, I'm going to risk 1%. Because essentially, when you're trading on a prop firm account, that's what majority I'm trading on right now. Majority of my funds are coming through funded accounts. I'm risking 1% because you have a 10% drawdown, right? Mm-hmm. Realistically, you have 10 trades to lose. So I like giving myself more leverage to trade with instead of essentially dropping like 4% on a trade and then only having 2 trades to trade. So risking 1% is key in this. Mm-hmm. And talking about trades, right? A trade that actually really went well for me, and it was during FOMC. It was like 2 weeks ago. I made 12% on my account. So I made $12,000 in one single trade. And what I did was just my simple strategy. I waited for a breakout above resistance. It got the retest. I entered on that, put my stops below support level, and held it. And then the FOMC came around, and it shot it up. Simple fundamentals, right? So essentially, when I go into a trade like that, I just have the same plan. There's no believing how you said, because that's just hope. Yeah. It's just entering a trade, knowing your strategy, and executing, right? It's like going to the gym, how you said, like you didn't talk about it, but going to the gym, right? You're believing that you're going to become skinny. But if you have no routine in becoming skinny, how the fuck are you going to become skinny? Manifesting, yes, could help you, but you got to have an execution to do that.
Absolutely.
So after that trade, I became a dumbass, and I just copped a Rolex Presidential, right? With that money. Mm-hmm. I feel like you should reward yourself whenever you come off of a winning trade or something like that, because you program your mind, okay, if I can keep doing this, I'm going to keep getting rewarded, right? So I got to follow my simple strategy.
So what, you're a dog? Every time you do something, you get a treat?
I think people should, yeah, type shit. Like, I think people should just take it as a reward. You feel me? Like, reward yourself.
Always reward
you do
yourself.
Something good,
always.
You're going to go back and do it. If
Absolutely.
you never reward yourself and you're just chasing the grind too much, you're never going to look back and see where you're at. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So always reward yourself when you come down to a winning trade or anything winning in life. and you'll see more progress in your life.
I haven't rewarded myself in quite a while. Typically, the way I would reward myself is... Dad, Chris.
Bloopers.
It'd be like that.
Are we back in action? Fuck. Anyways, I haven't rewarded myself in quite a while. The way I would reward myself is by buying a car.
Okay.
But it's like giving your dog the same treat. They get tired of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You get me? Like if you eat right now 3 Hershey bars, you're never going to want to see a Hershey bar.
Of course.
So the reason I'm saying this is because with the cars, it's like, I don't care about cars. You got me?
How many cars do you have?
I have 5, but I actually sold one.
Which cars do you have?
I sold the Urus.
Nice.
A Urus in Miami is like a Nissan Altima. Everyone has one.
Everyone has one.
You know,
Hey, I don't have one, so I don't know.
Nah.
it's like a Nissan Altima. But my whole point with this is that I haven't rewarded myself in a long time. And when I used to do it, it used to be watches, it used to be cars, it used to be fancy dinners. Now when I have a really good trading month, I don't have to celebrate it. You get me? Yeah. I don't feel like in my life it brings me any closer to my purpose, because I've been in bad situations where I felt as if I didn't have a purpose, and I've been in really good situations where I had more money than what I have today, right? And I still felt like I didn't have a purpose. I felt like I didn't know which way to go. And it really does happen, because people think that people with money just are living a beautiful life. They're living a life with more options, but more options doesn't necessarily mean that you're any happier. Here's why. When you go to McDonald's, you only have one option for ice cream, and it makes you fucking happy. Yeah. But if you go to an ice cream shop, you have 30 different options. You're so confused on which one to get. Even though they all taste amazing, right? That moment of confusion is what causes a lot of people
the perspective
that when they get to the top, they may look all nice on Instagram and they may look like they're living life, but they're really not. Yeah. Like they may have more options than us, right? Because there's people out there that have like stupid more money than us. You get me?
Of course.
Like if you want to see a lot of money, go to a marina in Fort Lauderdale. Look how many yachts are there. Like every yacht is worth over 20 mil. So there's so many more people in the world that have so many more options, but just because they have more options doesn't mean that they have more purpose. Yeah. So that's where I don't reward myself after having a good trading month. I don't reward myself after doing something good, because I feel like if I keep doing that, I'm going to become... I'm not going to appreciate it the same, if that makes sense. And I already don't appreciate things the same. If you put an Aston Martin in front of me, I'm not going to give a fuck it's an Aston Martin. You put an Aston Martin in front of my friend Cedric, who came from Haiti, he'll pass out. Yeah. He's black, he'll turn white. Literally. You get me?
Aston Martin.
But here's the thing. It's because that guy has struggled so much to get to this point.
Of course.
I struggled too, but not as much as him. I've had it. Now that I've had it, I don't appreciate it the same. A good example is this. Me, him, and 2 other friends, Ali Trades and Adrian, we went out to go eat, right? And we're eating. I got like sea bass. I told him to get a skirt steak, Wagyu prime skirt steak. And he ate that shit so quick.
I bet.
He ate it so quickly that he got cramps from it.
Oh, wow.
Like cramps, because he ate so quickly. And I'm here just like, damn, like you ate quick. But it reminded me of when I was at a position where I did not have as much money, and I went to Poppy Steak for the first time. You should have seen me eat. I ate so fucking quick there, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah.
It reminds me of my first time to Komodo. I ate so quick, it wasn't even funny. Now when I go to those places, it's not the same. Yeah. So that's my whole, philosophy on rewarding yourself after you do something good every single time. It's going to get to the point where you're going to get tired of everything. You got me?
I feel like how you said it is basically my first time going through a lot of this. You feel me? Like, I come from nothing, and then seeing this now, like I want to reward myself.
Yeah.
Of course.
And So a lot of people are going to tell you don't buy watches, don't buy cars, don't buy this, don't buy that, which after having it all, I do agree with them. Don't do it. But as much as I could tell you this, I'm not. I'm going to tell you the complete opposite. Go do whatever the fuck you want to do. And the reason I say go do whatever the fuck you want to do is because whether they talk bad, whether they talk good, whether they see you, whether they don't, at the end of the day, what matters is whatever you do.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, whether any circumstances, whatever you do, they're still talking. So you might as well do whatever the fuck you want to do. Now, let's say you buy watches, cars, and then you face a hard financial time. Good. That's where you get the lesson.
Exactly.
Just put it this way. Whatever you obtain very easily, you could lose it just as easy. Yeah. So if you have a really good year and you obtain a lot of cars and you obtain a lot of things, remember that it's a lot easier to obtain something than maintaining something. That's why when you look at sports, how many times is the NBA championship passed from team to team to team to team? Almost every year.
Yeah.
It's very rare when you have a team that wins 3 years in a row, 2 years in a row. It's very rare. Mm-hmm. It's easy to get it. It's not easy to maintain it.
Yeah.
You get me?
Sure.
And that's because everyone else sees you as the target to study, to become, and to extinguish. So with that, I do want to ask you guys about another question that I wrote down here. All my questions are trading based, and I've never really wrote down anything. I've just free-handed it, but I feel like writing down things keeps me organized in things. But what do you guys look at? Because I feel like a lot of people always ask me this. People ask me, Lewis, what do you look at to stay informed of what is going on in market conditions or what's going to happen in market conditions? And there's so many different media outlets. You know, you have the fake CNN, you have Forex Factory, you have News 7, you have Fox Business News. You have so many different variables to go to. You have Market Watch. The question is, how do you stay informed about market trends and news, and how does that affect your decision while trading?
So realistically, that's actually a very good question, because I trade gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, if economy is shit, everybody wants to go invest into gold. So when I go into a trade, right, market trend might be bearish short term, but long term, you got to realize that gold is bullish, like, because everybody wants to buy gold. It's an asset. While the currency goes down, while the dollar goes down, gold's gonna pump. So how I trade is like, okay, if we're near a support level, I got to realize that we're bullish overall. So I'm very careful on when I'm gonna enter a trade for sales on gold currently, because I'm like, okay, it's bullish. There should be no reason why I'm doing that.
Yeah.
So essentially, you got to go by news, how you said, realize what's happening in the economy, and that should affect how you trade your pair.
And that right there is why they added swaps to the system, to CFDs. CFD is contract for difference. Yes. Let's say that you are trading something like a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. Bitcoin's always going to go up.
Yeah.
Or gold. Gold's always going to go up. How do we know that gold's always going to go up? Well, logically speaking, they're printing money every day.
Yes.
The dollar is losing value. So if the dollar loses its value, what obtains value?
Gold,
silver, platinum, and obtains value. So if you're trading, and let's say you buy gold, but gold takes a dump, but you know that long-term gold's always going to go up, how do these people, companies, make money? Because if you hold the trade, you're good. Just deposit more money. Gold's eventually going to go up.
Yeah.
Swaps. They charge you swaps. And every day that you hold the trade, you get charged swap fee, swap fee, swap fee, swap fee. And eventually it comes to the point where they charge you so many swap fees, you have to close out the position. Or if not, you're going to get margin call.
That call's going to come.
That's essentially why swaps are implemented. Yeah. Because there is things out there that are going to continue to rise and continue to rise. Gold rising, I think gold is going to continue to rise tremendously. Because, like I said, they keep printing money every single day. Yeah. And with that, someone who is not as educated as we are here, when they look at the dollar, they look at $1. And they're like, the dollar has never lost its value. $1 today is the same as $1 in 1971 because it's still $1.
Yeah.
What they fail to understand is that the dollar, the paper, is still $1, but everything around it is not $1. Everything around it is going up in value.
Yeah.
And if everything around it's going up in value and the dollar stays the same, it's losing value.
Mm-hmm.
Because what used to be $1, or like this used to be $1 in 2018,
Yeah.
now is $1.50.
Inflation.
So that means that your dollar has just lost 50% of its buying power.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very important to understand, because if you keep thinking that your $20 bill is worth $20, you are so fucking wrong.
Exactly.
You get me? One of the biggest things that has affected us in the U.S. this year, last year, and the year before is the increase in prices in the grocery store.
Like eggs.
Check this out. 2 out of 3 Americans, right, now with $100 have a shopping cart a lot more emptier than 5 years ago.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
And when you take that back to 15 years ago, it's even worse, because 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when I came to the States, I'm from Cuba. I came here on a plane, thank God.
Yeah.
I came here on a plane, thank God. When my parents first got here, it was like 2004, I believe. 2003, because I came a lot younger. So they came here in 2003. In 2003, a gallon of milk was like 80 cents.
Yeah.
Gallon of milk now is like $6.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So again, people, just because you have $100 bill on you does not mean it's worth $100. Everything around you is going up in value besides what you're holding in front of you. So this is why I tell people a lot to invest into different things that appreciate in value. One of them is gold, silver, platinum. Another one could be land. You get me?
Yeah, real estate, exactly.
Another one could be something that people consume every day. Like one of my friends, he has something called La Carniceria. La Carniceria is a butcher's market.
Nice.
Just all they sell is meat. But what does almost everyone eat?
Meat.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Besides the vegan people. But, you know,
Fucking be.
for, you know, I respect their cause, and I'm happy that there's people out there that don't want to kill animals. You get me? But I feel like if it was the year 1000 and I had to go hunting, I will still kill an animal.
Exactly.
You get me? But I do respect their beliefs. I wish them nothing bad. But when you think about it, 99% of the population eats meat. So if you have a butcher's market and you sell meat, right, and you sell meat of high quality compared to a Walmart that doesn't sell it as high, you have a successful running business if you market it correctly and do other things correctly. I'm not going to disclose these numbers, but his business does a 25-30% profit margin every single month, every single year. And it's just selling meat.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very important to understand, where is this world going? You get me? Because what they're doing now is creating artificial meat from labs, which is
crazy, bro.
Which is going to mess up your body.
Yeah, it's going to mess you up. Yeah, it's
And
bad.
there's also one thing that I would say that will be very good to invest in is EV, because everything is switching. Yeah, EV, electrical.
Oh, yeah.
So everything is becoming electrical. The cars, we're using a lot of electricity for internet, everything, you feel me? So realistically, right now, a good thing to invest in would be EV.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to look for the ingredients in this water bottle, but it doesn't have it.
It's not organic, bro.
Huh?
It's not organic water.
Well, it's spring water from Iceland, so
It's from Iceland, bro. It's from New
trying to buy the
Zealand.
best, you know, whatever.
Iceland,
water.
man.
EV. You know what I hate about electric vehicles? I feel like with technology uprising, I feel it's going to become the day. There's going to come the day where a cop will be behind you. They'll read your license plate. License plate is connected to the VIN number of the vehicle. Boom, they'll turn off your vehicle.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. Another thing I hate about electric vehicles is that since it's electric, right, controllers with weather conditions and other things could become affected. Here's a good example.
Yeah.
The Tesla Cybertruck. I love it. Maybe I'm going to get one. Not right now because they're overpriced.
Yeah.
I'll explain that in a bit, but they were having issues with the accelerator getting stuck. And it's not the paddle that got stuck. It's the electric molecules that send the signal from the pedal over to the electric engines that would get stuck. So imagine you're driving 60 miles an hour. You accelerate, it gets stuck, and it's going 65, 70. You can't do shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You got me? Like, it's a scary experience.
Yeah.
And the reason I wouldn't get one now is for two reasons. The first one is it's overpriced. I actually want this into a reel. Okay.
They all got called back. All like 2,800 of them. They all are.
Almost all of them.
That's wild. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, almost all of them. Because it's an electrical issue.
Yeah.
So, I'm eating this to fucking stay awake because I have slept very little. But check this out. Definitely turn this into a reel. The two reasons I have not bought a Cybertruck is, number one, they're overpriced. They're going for $50,000, $100,000 over market value, over MSRP. I believe in the next year or 2 years, they'll come down quite a lot. And you're going to see them come down quite a lot. Everyone that's getting one now had two things: an allocation for it, where they're not paying above market price, or two, they are paying above market price because they want it immediately. Is there something wrong with that? Absolutely not. Go buy what you want to buy. The second reason I have not bought a Cybertruck is because I will never buy a car on the first year of its production, because that's when it has the most mistakes. Whenever you buy a car, buy it 3 years after it's been produced, because in 2 years, they could fix a lot of the issues that they encounter. Think about it like a Lamborghini. Would you buy a 2015 Lamborghini or a 2019 Lamborghini Huracan? You'll buy the 2019 one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not because it's any newer, but because over the last 4 years, they have fixed every issue the car has had. And that's the same reason why I won't buy a Cybertruck this year, nor probably next year, because I want them to fix a lot of the issues, and then I'll buy one.
Yeah.
Think about like the Model 3. It's been out for quite a couple years. But if you buy a Model 3 now, it's going to be prestigious. You're not going to find issues in that car. Because after having the car for, I believe, almost more than 7 years. 6 years now? I'm sorry. 6 to 7 years now, they have fixed so many issues in that car. It's incredible.
Yeah.
And that's the two reasons why I won't buy a Cybertruck. The first one, overpriced. I'm not going to pay over market value for a car. I'd rather just wait. You get me?
Exactly.
It's not like it's a 1 out of 500 and it's never going to be created again. No, they're going to keep creating that shit. Number two is I would never buy a car in its first year of production. You guys should never do that. Like, if you ever, like, let's say you guys want to buy a Lamborghini Aventador, don't buy the first year of its production.
Yeah, and also that it depreciates over like 30%
Yeah.
for a few years.
This is the value.
So there should be no reason why.
Yeah.
And also, I own a Tesla myself, and the Cybertrucks right now overpriced, like you said, over like 50 to 100K. But right now on the Tesla app, you can order a Cybertruck, right? You can order a Cybertruck for around $70,000 to $80,000, and it comes in 2025, so it comes a year later. But how you said, if you just wait that little year of gap, you're going to be getting it from $200,000 that they're charging for them Cybertrucks down to $80,000. You're saving over $120,000.
Yeah. It also depends on the trim. The Cyber Beast is like 114, I think.
Yeah, 114.
But yeah, if you wait a year, you're saving 80, 90, depending on where you get it and your connections. I've seen some that you could get them for 140. I've seen some for 180. It varies. You get me? Like in freaking Utah, you're going to get one for 130.
Exactly.
Here in Miami, you're going to get one for 190. It really depends on where. So many different variables. But the whole point is that I'm not going to overpay for something.
Exactly.
Because I don't feel it's worth it. To me, at least. If you are a EV fanatic, go spend your brains out.
Exactly.
With that, I wanted to ask you guys about the current prop firm that you are promoting. I also want to tell you guys my honest opinion on the prop firm after having conversations with you guys about it, where I want to speak to the owners of these prop firms. And the reason I want to speak to the owners of them is because the prop firm looks very nice, in my opinion, but prop firms don't have a future.
They don't.
Like, it's so difficult to have a profitable business when your motto of business is to hand out money to traders that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly. And if you, as a prop firm, realistically in the prop firm game, how they make money, is they're handing you simulated funds, right? So realistically, off rip, unless majority of them are B-booking you, right? But they're not going to be putting in real money for your fucking capital. So how that works is 95 to 97% of traders that enter the markets fail. So if your business
Is this
model,
what they've told you, the prop firm, or is this what you have learned?
no, this is what I've learned. I've learned that a lot of people are failures.
And what have they told you, the prop firm?
Realistically, they told me the same thing, that the business model itself is
So
profited
continue.
is profited off of people that fail, right?
Mhm.
So if 97% of people fail, you're going to be majority of the time profitable. But if someone keeps getting big payouts and people start making a lot of money off of your prop firm, how are you going to profit off of that? And that's the reason why TFT, my Forex funds, all these people have collapsed, because they're handing out salaries, they're handing out different things to people, right? But you're not thinking about having back-end money. You get me?
Yeah.
If someone comes in and makes $100,000, and let's say like 20 or 30 people do that, how are you going to pay that out if you don't have any back-end money, any reserve
That's
money?
2 million, 3 mil.
Yeah.
So here's why it's kind of almost impossible as a prop firm to make money. Let's say that it's your first month in production. You launch, right? And in that first month, you do $300K in sales, between a $10,000 account all the way up to a $200,000 account.
Yeah.
You said that what they do is give you simulated accounts. Absolutely.
Correct,
Right?
yeah.
It's all fake money inside a fake website with fake numbers.
Yeah.
It's all fake until it gets to the liquidity provider. Then it's real.
Yeah.
But it's all fake at the beginning. It's all fake. And you are a successful trader. And on a 200K, you do 10%. And not only are you a successful trader, you are someone of high influence, and you have 10 people connected to you that all have a 200K account, and you all make $20,000. 20,000 times 10 is 200,000.
Yeah.
So that prop firm that just made 250K, right, has expenses, which is a CRM, the liquidity feed that connects the bridge services, the executional platform, depending on which one they're using, the fees of the executional platform, the influencers it has, and the affiliates, and the customer support team, and the operations team. A lot of shit. But the prop firm just paid out 200K and then has to pay out all these other expenses. How in the world is the prop firm going to make money?
Exactly.
Yeah, long term.
So then the prop firm is going to come back and tell that person who has 10 people who's aligned with them, oh, you guys cannot each copy your traits.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
What is this? Middle school?
Of course. Yeah.
You can't copy your partner?
That's kind of, yeah.
So, and it's not only, every prop firm does this.
Yeah.
And here's why I think every prop firm is going to fail. There's going to be traders out there that develop different ways to copy one another. There's going to be traders out there that are going to copy you, and you're
Yeah.
going to be
It's
in
happened
this
plenty of
prop
times.
firm, you're
Yeah.
going to be in this prop firm, you're going to be in that prop firm. They're all going to copy one another, and all of the prop firms are going to get fucked. Or the prop firms are going to say, hey, we can't pay you because you traded 5 minutes
Before news.
before news. You traded 6 minutes after Powell spoke, and you didn't even know that the old man spoke because you're not a fundamentals trader. You're a technical trader.
Or some other bullshit rule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
Or
they're
you're not
gonna
consistent,
something else
yeah.
that they're gonna do is lower your leverage.
Exactly.
If they lower your leverage, do you know what that causes?
What does that cause?
So if you have a leverage of 1 to 500, do you guys understand how leverage works?
Me personally, I do not understand how leverage works.
Nah.
Okay,
The numbers.
so leverage, hence the word leverage, right? The water bottle right now is in the middle.
Yeah.
If the water bottle, its tilt, it has leverage. The leverage is that it's bound to fall down.
Yeah.
This side, the left-hand side, has leverage over the right-hand side. So with that being said, it's the exact same thing in the market. Whatever your leverage is, you multiply it times 1,000. So let's say that you have a leverage of 1 to 100, and your account is $1,000 account. You multiply 1,000 times 100.
100,000.
What does that give you?
100,000.
1,000, right, times 100.
Will that be 100,000 or a million?
100,000.
100,000.
Yeah.
100,000.
I kept asking to
100,000.
see if you guys were confident.
100,000. Yeah, it's one. So 100,000.
100,000 for sure.
It's 100,000.
Yeah.
But what that represents is that you have 100,000 in trading volume. every lot size that you put into the market, how much trading volume is it? What does one lot size represent in trading value?
$100. $100 every 10 pips.
10. It depends. Well, no, if you enter a
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. But
10,000 volume units is what it represents. So one lot size represents 10,000 volume units. You have a leverage that's 1 to 100. Your account balance is 1,000. So you multiply 1,000 times 100, 100,000. So that means that in that $1,000 account, you could take up to 10 lot sizes.
Okay.
Right? Because it's equal to 100,000 volume units.
Yeah.
And that's what leverage is. Now, in that one account that has 1 to 100, you could take up to 10 lots on a $1,000 account.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about a 1 to 500. Now you could take 50 lots on a $1,000 account. Isn't that insane?
That is insane.
And that is leverage. And what is that going to do? It's either going to help you make money quicker or blow up even faster.
Whole count. Yeah.
And that's why brokers give you leverage.
Because it's like a casino. They want you to.
They want to see you fail.
Tells you, okay, deposit $100, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna match your $100 because we want you to come. You get me? So that's why they'll match the $100 the same way as they give you more leverage, or they'll tell you, oh, there's a deposit bonus or any of this, because it's essentially a casino, because they know that majority of people are gonna lose. So it's just better attracting the person to come in and do it.
Can I ask a question? Of course. Do you really need to know what leverage to trade?
Do you really? Yeah. Do you really need to know leverage to trade? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because understand it like I do. Absolutely, because you have to know how to multiply and calculate how many volume units are you placing to distinguish how many volume units do you have available. Does that make sense? Like, you're putting 2 lots into the market. Great. Let's say your account, it's hard to give you a description without writing it, but let's say you have $1,000 account and you have 100,000 volume units, and you're going to put 2 lots. That is 20,000 volume units. The reason that's important to know is because if you have 101,000 volume units, you margin call it. Boom, your account blows up, even if it's in profit.
Yeah.
That's the worst part. Even if it's in profit, it blows up. So that's why you have to know how to calculate this stuff, because your margin level is more important than anything else. The margin level is calculated by the leverage that you get from the volume units that the broker gives you based off the 1 to X amount of leverage. It's super important to know these things. And the reason it's important is because you could get margin called. If you're trading in a liquidity provider, so I've traded on a liquidity provider. I've traded multiple liquidity providers, B2 Core, 1-0, Proctagon, just a variety of, I've traded in so many liquidity providers. And if you don't understand leverage and you don't understand units and volume units and margin, you're going to blow up. Because trading A-book is very different than trading B-book. And most people are never going to understand how to trade A-book. When you trade A-book, your leverage is a 1 to 100. That's because the liquidity provider gets a 1 from 100 from the central banking system, or they get a 1 to 150, but they give you a 1 to 100. It really depends on the liquidity provider and how you're trading. But with that, I did want to ask you guys, or to go back into the prop firm talk. So you have 10 people who copied each other, right? 250K, remove 200K because you got to pay that out. And we're not even including other people that trade fairly and that have made money.
Yeah.
You're never going to make money as a prop firm. And that's why I want to speak to the owners of this prop firm that you guys are promoting. Because if they think that they're going to make money, they're fucking retarded. And, I'll get on a call with them and I'll show them every single way that they're not going to make money. But I want to get on a call with them not to tell them that their plan is a fucking shithole.
Yeah.
I want to give them my expertise advice on what path to take now that they already have established themselves as a company.
Yeah.
And see if there's, I want to see how they respond to things, and based off that, I'll make my next moves.
Yeah.
Don't always reveal your moves, but that's essentially why I trade on a broker, because a broker, you If you have a client that wins 200K, great. He pays the 200K because the broker will most likely A-book if they have a good dealing desk.
Yeah.
So I've used Hero for 2.5 years now, going on to 3 years. And the dealing desk that they have is a dealing desk that's been active the dealing desk that they have is a company that has been actively operating for over 20 years. They've been operating since people have had to fax in trading positions through fax cards.
Nice.
And this dealing desk basically A-books a 50U or essentially manages everything for them when it comes to the dealing side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I feel confident trading with Hero, because majority of the money, so it's like if you deposit $500 and you make $1,000, that $1,000 coming from the liquidity provider. You get me? If you deposit $2,000 and you make $10,000, Hero FX is not paying you the $10,000. It's the liquidity provider that you made the money on.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hero FX is keeping from that commissions, swaps, and spreads.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they run their operations. But it's so simplistic to run a broker. It's a lot easier than it is to run a prop firm. And it's a lot more rewarding.
It is.
Yeah.
I believe that. When it comes to brokers, you being able to withdraw your money and you being able to withdraw the full amount that you made off of that one trade or those two trades.
And something else that you guys are going to ask, well, why doesn't the prop firm just A-book them?
Exactly.
The problem with that is that the challenge costs you $600.
Correct.
What if you lose $6,000? They still have to pay the liquidity provider.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What happens if they make $12,000? Great. The prop firm doesn't pay you. It's a liquidity provider, but most people are destined to fail than to win.
Of course.
So if every single time someone fails, let's say the limit, 200K account, the limit is 10%, 20,000. If all these people just lost 20,000, well, you still have to pay the liquidity provider 200,000.
Bankrupt by the first month. Literally.
Yeah. So that's why it's not a successful business model. Because on a broker, if you deposit $1,000, all you have is $1,000.
Yeah, that's it.
You get me?
Yeah.
And realistically, when you go into a broker, you could actually copy trade because it doesn't matter like that.
You can run a PAM
firm that's gonna, you feel me, not pay you out. A broker's gonna end up paying you out majority of the time.
Yeah. Do you guys have any other questions?
I want to ask life questions, to be honest.
Yeah, let's talk about life.
Life questions, right? So I'm gonna ask you too, because I have this answer to myself. I already know what I'm gonna say. You think people have to hit the gym to be profitable in the markets?
No.
Why?
The fuck does the gym have to do with the markets? Some of the most successful traders in the world are some fat fucks up in New York.
Hedge funds.
I looked up this.
What do you believe?
I'm sure you guys don't know.
In terms of discipline, for sure.
I believe.
Okay, here, I'll answer. Why is there people in the gym that look more fit and shredded than anyone else? And you may think, damn, that person's discipline is on point. They eat all their meals. They do everything that they're supposed to do, but they're still broke as fuck.
Because they don't have the discipline outside of the gym.
They're not educated.
Okay, so why is there traders who are mad successful but look like shit?
Yeah, I agree.
Because they don't have the discipline for the gym. They have the discipline for different
aspects in their life.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Why is there people who are super fucking successful in the gaming industry?
Yeah.
Fucking nerds that are on Twitch and shit, huge, playing Warzone.
I think for some people, it teaches them discipline outside of. But certain people don't need that.
Yeah,
of course.
People don't need it.
I worked a lot in the bodybuilding industry.
Yeah.
A lot of them are disciplined in the gym, but not.
With their financials, they're not disciplined.
But some of them, But some of them, because of the gym, they learn to be disciplined.
Yeah, and real life. You get me?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
It depends on, I think it depends
The person.
on the person.
Absolutely.
Like, you need to.
It depends on the person. Because
So that's exactly why I asked that question, because I was gonna tell you guys.
Does this guy look like he works out?
Hell no, he doesn't.
He's one of the most successful traders of our lifetime. He died. If we are on May 15, he died 5 days ago, May 10th.
That's insane.
Every single year, he'll do about 70%.
That's insane.
Annual
bro.
returns.
That's fire.
And that was a good thing that you guys said it, because my opinion on that is obviously you don't have to hit the gym to be successful in trading because you have fat folks that are fucking successful.
Yeah.
But I believe that if you hit the gym, right, and you do other things outside of life and become disciplined in that, it's going to reflect in trading. Because if you're disciplined in everything outside of trading, it will translate to you because your subconscious mind is telling yourself, I got to be disciplined in everything that I do. So if I follow a specific strategy when I go into the markets and I follow a specific strategy when I go to the gym and eat, you feel me, clean, it's all going to result into a good life. And that's why I believe that people should end up hitting the gym if you're going to do trading or if you're going to go into a business because it will teach you discipline.
Could help, but when you look at the numbers and you look at the ratios,
Majority of traders are fucking athletes.
just because you have a nice just because you work out and you're disciplined and you hit chest, at a consistent basis and you do your fucking flies and all this other shit does not equate to you becoming successful in other areas of your life. It just means that you are someone who takes care of their body.
Yeah.
It's like
It's the person and the aspects and what they're educated with.
Yeah, it's like the person who takes dominoes too serious in life. You get me?
Absolutely. I agree.
It's like,
I believe, yeah.
but I get your point there. And should people hit the gym? And would hitting the gym help you in areas of your life, right?
Yeah.
It won't help you become successful overnight, but it could help with things like
better.
relieving stress.
Yeah.
Right? It could help with things with improving energy levels. If you have more energy, right, you're not as fatigued, you're not as sleepy, you're not as, you're not as likely to make a mistake over being tired. Mm-hmm. Because when you're tired, you commit mistakes. How do I know this? If you're fighting and you're tired, you commit mistakes.
Absolutely.
If you are tired of looking at the same thing over and over, you're going to commit mistakes. Mm-hmm. If you're tired of trading, you're going to commit mistakes. So the gym could help with different things like those. You get me? And the gym could help with that. But what really helps with all of those things outside of the gym
is educating yourself.
Is nutrition.
Yeah, of course.
Because what if you eat like shit, but you work out every day?
You still
Absolutely.
look like shit.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
You got to eat clean.
You look all right, but you won't look
you won't have
that shape.
you won't be cut up.
I'm not talking about looks now. I'm talking about feeling how you feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you eat like shit and work out every day, you're not going to feel any better. You might feel good or at the gym, you get me?
Of course, because you're going.
But you're not going to feel better when you wake up.
Yeah.
You get me? If you eat processed foods, you're going to be...
You won't get the results you want.
You're going to have a lot of inflammation. Inflammation causes drowsiness. Drowsiness causes you to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. I'm eating a Sour Patch because I'm so fucking sleepy.
Yeah.
I'm sleepy because I haven't had good sleep the last couple days because I've been busy with things. And someone always asks me, is your business more important than sleep? Is your business more important than your health?
It's not more important than your health, but
Yeah.
I believe that, sleep is health, technically, because if you don't sleep enough, you won't be healthy. Mm-hmm. But I will sacrifice sleep for my business. I've done it before a bunch of times.
I believe, going back to what Lou said.
Is business more important than your health? It's a simple question.
Nah, you gotta put your health. You gotta put your health first. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'd rather be able to survive to see another day than put my life on the line for my business when I know that there's so much life ahead of me.
How do you know that you're not gonna die tomorrow?
You never know that.
Because I believe right now, as long as I work hard in the business right now, today, at this current date,
Believe isn't a strategy.
Well, as long as I put in the work and I apply action and I execute, I don't see where I could go wrong, or I don't see where things could go wrong with my
So why do so many people fail?
Because nobody follows their plan and nobody's disciplined in life.
No, people follow their plan, but why do they fail? So my
People fail
mentor
because-
told me this. When you look at war and you create a plan, your plan is only as good as the pieces executing it.
Exactly.
Correct.
It's like just
And then the second thing is my business more important than my health? To be honest, last year and this year, it's been more important. I've contributed more time into my business than I have done to my health. I've ate junk food to stay consistent and not have to go and do groceries or do any of that shit or cook. Uber Eats more times than I could think of. I've DoorDash more times than I could think of. I've skipped the gym more times than I could think of. I have had to sacrifice family time. I've had to sacrifice a lot of different things in order to get to this point. Has it been worth it? Fuck yeah. Would I change anything if I had to redo it? Yeah. Buying all those fucking cars.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing. I would have, now that I'm in this position, I would have better invested the money into other things. So you guys may ask me, why don't you sell the cars? Well, I love them. You got me?
Yeah.
But
It's your passion, bro.
It's a passion.
what I'm going to do moving forward is definitely invest into bigger projects than just cars, because my biggest expense is my Lamborghini STO. I spend $400,000 on the car, over $400,000 in parts. The car's worth $800,000, $900,000.
It's insane.
And what does?
It's the engine that when they said that shit about the engine, I was like, don't do
Yeah,
that.
the
You have to pay $80,000 for an engine.
That's
See
crazy.
if it breaks,
Wow.
and if it
Brace, then fix it. Then you're testing it out.
you're
Yeah.
testing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
crazy.
You're testing to see if an $80,000 engine
Yeah,
will hold the power,
that's insane, bro.
and what you get in return,
You're not guaranteed it. Like, yeah,
what you get in return is knowing if it held or didn't.
yeah.
Did it make you happy though?
At the time, yeah. Now, could care less.
But as you said, how we talked about earlier in the podcast, you have to go through life. You feel me? Like
Yeah, just doing things.
knowing,
Yeah.
like you got to go through life doing what you're gonna be happy to do.
Yeah,
and then
that's
obviously
why I
learn
tell
the lesson
people.
after that.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, do whatever the fuck you want to do, because it didn't satisfy me. But what if
Yeah.
it satisfied you? And you
course.
get me? It's like I never knocked down anyone's idea or dream,
Yeah.
because I've had some pretty crazy ones, and people have knocked them down.
Yeah,
And I've proven to people that I can do what I say I'm going to do. That, I think, brings me more purpose than anything.
absolutely. That's
And it's
pride.
not really about the people. It's really about me accomplishing what I want to do.
And let me ask you something.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask both of you guys, right? Do you believe a man has to struggle to be successful in life? Does he have to come from nothing, or if he comes from money, do you think does that affect someone?
There's been many kings in the past who have obtained wealth through their ancestors and grandparents and fathers, and they've been successful. I know the perfect example for this. Who the fuck knows who Joe Rogan's son is? let me.
What's his name? The dude that does coke and shit.
Joe Rogan's son?
Not Joe Rogan.
Joe Biden's son?
Joe Biden's son.
Joe Biden's son.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude comes from money and fucking drug addict.
I don't want to use that piece of shit as an example. Here's who I'm going to use as an example. Donald Trump's father is a multimillionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump's father loaned him $1 million+ to start his real estate venture.
Okay.
Donald Trump now is a billionaire.
Yeah.
His father was $1 million. He's now $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He came from money. Did he struggle? Oh fuck yeah! Look at underneath his eyes in any interview you see him.
Yeah.
You got me? The
Struggle.
guy barely sleeps. The guy's always working. The guy's always oiled machine running. But he came from money. But he still had to struggle a lot. So when you say, do you have to struggle to become successful? Absolutely. If
Yeah.
you don't struggle, you know, no story, no glory.
Yeah.
You get me?
I believe to obtain, success in your lifetime overall, you do have to go through struggle, At the end of the day, if life was perfect, I believe everybody would have a perfect life
Imagine
and nobody would care about nobody.
Put it this way. Here's another good example, and from there we'll finish off the podcast. Imagine how boring your fucking relationship would be if there was no struggle
Yeah.
in the relationship.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
You got me?
Yeah. It's true.
Another example is if there is a street that is tilted,
Yeah.
right? But there's a street that goes up and down, up and down, up and down. The ball will get to its destination quicker with the ups and downs rather than the street that's just tilted,
Yeah, of course.
because there is struggle. There is friction. With friction, it creates speed. But essentially, those are all examples of how you need to struggle. You get me?
But yeah, I do believe overall in our lifetimes, you know, to obtain some success or feel some success, you need to struggle. Whatever your passion is, whatever you do in this life, you need to struggle, because without it, you won't understand. You know, you won't understand the levels of what you're doing or the levels of the industry that you're in. And, you know, you got, like everybody says, you start from square one and you work your way up. You know, it's a 2, 3, 4, 5, and the levels continue. You know, life has levels, and every time you obtain one level, that's a reward. But it's not a reward to sit there and chill. It's a reward to keep going forward and to become the best version of yourself day in and day out. So
Yeah.
you must struggle. Absolutely.
So to finish off the podcast, I'm going to say this. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create easy times. Easy times create weak men. And weak men create hard times, for then hard times to create strong men. And it's an ongoing cycle.
That's fact.
With that being said, thank you so much for watching Traders Cast. Peace.
Be safe, guys.